We are talking about the brand new Dark World structure deck, crazy Dark World fusion. Let's get right into it.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Grapha Dragon, Overlord of Dark World. If you are a fan of control decks, I think that this is going to be a top tier control deck. Some people are already talking about wombo combos with this, but I'm thinking about controlling the duel with this. Now, what does this boss monster do? When your opponent activates a normal spell or trap or a monster effect, you negate it, and you replace the effect with instead, they make you discard a card. And if you don't know how Dark Worlds work, they all activate when you discard a card, but they have an additional crazy effect when your opponent makes you discard a card, which would never happen unless you have an effect that makes your opponent make you discard a card. And if something were to happen to Grapha Dragon, Overlord of Dark World, it's going to special summon Grapha back on the fields from the banish pile, the graveyard, and then make you discard a card, which will trigger another Dark World. Now, there's a lot more other cards to this. There's the new fusion spell, but instead of reading through all this, which is going to be boring, let's get into a duel. Yeah? Let's go right into a duel. No time wasted. Let's ready up. Let's go. Now, I'll show you after this duel that you could use the fusion, then reset it that same turn, but you could just set this fusion and then end, because it's going to allow us to disrupt our opponent's plays. So our Mad Lad's opponent is going to summon a Mo Yi. Mo Yi is going to activate, revealing the Long Yun. He's going to summon his token. We're not going to respond to that yet. Now that the token is here, we are going to respond to disrupt this play. We're going to flip up the fusion. What does the fusion spell do? It is a quick play effect during either player's main phase. If you are summoning a Dark World fusion, which is what we're doing, you could discard from your hand. It doesn't send to the graveyard, it discards, so it will trigger the effects. And it could also recycle itself back to the hand. So let's summon our Dark World fusion. We're going to send Grapha. We're going to send Snow. Come forth, the ultimate new boss monster. We're going to Grapha activate, destroy the token mate, and then we're going to Snow. Not that this is the ideal play, but I'm going to search for the brand new spell, Dark World Puppet. We'll talk about this when we use it. Let's grab it. Why not? Now that play got disrupted, you know Sword Soul's going to have another play. They're going to do the other play. Let's do the other play. Discard, and he's going to special summon the Long Yun. We're going to negate. Not only are we negating, we are going to be discarding a card, which is now the effect of the opponent. It is the opponent's effect making you discard, which gives you the additional effect of the brand new Dark World. What does this brand new Dark World do? When this is discarded, you could search for a level 5 or higher Dark World, aka search for Grapha. But if your opponent makes you discard this, you could also special summon a level 4 or lower Dark World from your deck or graveyard to either field. So we're going to use that effect. Let's discard the brand new Dark World. And because our opponent made us discard it by turning their effect into us discarding, we're going to activate. We're going to search for Grapha, and we're going to special summon onto their field a Ceruli. Ceruli onto their field, come forth and summon. Now Ceruli, again, is going to activate to make me discard. I'm going to discard Silva. Silva states that if your opponent makes you discard this, they have to shuffle 2 cards from their hand to the bottom of the deck. Come forth and summon Silva to the field, and now they got to shuffle 2 cards back in the deck. So goodbye to you, to the bottom of the deck you go. Now, what's left? Of course, they got a fusion freaking Destiny, mate. Holy moly. So come forth and summon DP to the E on the fields. Now what? Well, we have another effect of the Grapha. So let's say he activates the DPE to get poppin'. He's going to take out the Ceruli, take out our Grapha fusion. Our Grapha fusion now activates. Activate to resummon Grapha back onto the field. I do want to focus on this deck being a new control deck. Come forth Grapha, and not only does it summon Grapha, now we have to discard a card, but we are Dark Worlds. We love discarding cards. Discard the Grapha, activate the Grapha. Also, they have to discard also. They had to discard their Sword Soul Long Yun. That's nuts. Now, you may be thinking, if they didn't have a hand, would you still discard? Yeah. You both, if only one of you have a card in your hand, you will still discard, still get your Grapha effect. So they got to discard by destroying our Grapha fusion. Let's take out the DPE. DPE is going to activate to come back next turn. Now he's not big enough to attack over us. Let's get into the next turn. Let's draw. Well, now let's talk about the brand new spell we searched for with the snow. The snow says, as a quick play effect, the snow quick play spell, you can target up to 3 cards from either player's graveyard, banish them. And then also during the main phase, except the turn this is sent to the graveyard, you could add a Dark World monster back to your hand. Well, what are we going to do? We're going to activate the quick play to banish the DP to the E. Now, DPE is still going to summon a Destiny Hero, unless we banish it. It still has another Destiny Hero to banish, unless we, I should say summon, unless we banish it. Banish all 3, get rid of all of it, and now, just like that, the DPE is no good. And now we have the effect of, in addition to banishing, we discard a card. Let's discard the Rainbow, brand new, activate, searching for our Grapha mate. We can grab another Grapha. We can grab a gold if we want. We'll grab a gold, a silver. Let's try a gold or a silver right here. Now, what do we do here? Well, we have the effect of the fusion to add back a card to the hand. But what we could do first is we could use Rainbow to return the silver back to the hand. We could then use the Grapha in the graveyard to return the Rainbow back to the hand. And then we could use the fusion spell. Activate the fusion spell, discard, we could discard the Rainbow again, and that's going to activate, grabbing us a Grapha to the hand. And then we are going to Fusion Shokan, activate, yes, discarding the newly added Grapha, discarding a Silva or a gold, come forth, new fusion again back in the field, summon Silva, activate Grapha, pop the Mo Yi, and that is lethal damage. That's what this deck is all about. This deck is nuts. You can also recycle the fusion back, attack, attack, attack. Let's say I don't go for lethal. Let's say for some reason he somehow stopped this. We had 2 other attacks. We can add the fusion back. We could also, where's the fusion? We already added the fusion back that turn. But if you already use it on the first turn, I will show you that. And then you could return these. Let's go into another duel real quick where I show you that you could use the fusion, then reset it in the same turn if you didn't want to just be using it by setting it. So let's go rock, paper, scissors, come on. So to show you that you could set it to disrupt your opponent, and then you can use it also to do it again. So let's activate that. This will activate, searching for the Grapha mate, very good. And now let's just grab it back to the hand, just like that. So you could start your turn 1 with it. So I know a lot of you might be thinking, setting the fusion spell turn 1, that's kind of crappy. And then you could have the banish effect and this. So this is maybe a bit better than our other play we did. Start the field with this. Looks good. And that is the power of the brand new Grapha Dragon Overlord of Dark World. Yes.